This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin on a fast and furious Thursday, mid-afternoon or early afternoon, depending on where you are. Hope everybody's doing well. If you like our content, please give us a like and subscribe on Gonzo Sports Room YouTube page, as well as Elite Sports and Entertainment Network's YouTube page. And our QR code is in the upper left-hand corner for you to get to those destinations. Tony, how's it going? And the floor is yours.
Hey, it's going great, man. I just officially finished up all my paperwork. I'm officially retired from Walmart. So that's done. So that's good. So I'm officially done. Just got home a few minutes ago. So that's
no one more match or anything like that, Tony.
Nope, no more match. Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully I don't get in a situation I have to go back. Even though they said I can come back anytime I want.
Yeah,
but,
understandable.
But okay, guys, let's jump right into it. We got some Thursday night football tonight. And I tell you what, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we'd have probably thought, man, this game's gonna suck. But I tell you right now, I think we may have a ball game on our hands. Buffalo is struggling a little bit. Houston's starting to play better. They put the backup quarterback in, Mills, and they're playing better. But the key for Houston's their defense. I mean, they got maybe the best defense in football. That was getting overlooked because their offense was playing so bad and they was getting their butt kicked. But now that they're playing a little better, I think they're 500 now, trying to get back into the hunt in their division in the South, trying to get back into the playoff hunt. So a big game for Houston, probably a must-win, at 5-5 for them. And kind of a must-win for Buffalo. Even I think Buffalo will be a playoff team, but they're in trouble maybe winning that division with New England's schedule. So kind of a must-win for Buffalo if they want to keep up with New England. Jay, your thoughts on this game tonight, Buffalo at Houston?
Yeah, absolutely. I will actually be watching it at my old First Sergeant house tonight. And he is a huge Buffalo fan, and he is very irritated to the point I almost call him Frankie Sr. We're pretty much at that level. So that's how you know my Thursday night's going to be if Houston doesn't come up to play. And I need a domination game against Buffalo. Now, do I expect that to happen? Probably not. But when Miami can beat Buffalo, there's hope, Tony. With the mustard seed of faith, God says, that's all I need. And I got a mustard seed of faith because you know why? Here's what I know. What I know is CJ Stroud is missed. Don't get me wrong, man. You can't, Davis Mills is not CJ Stroud. But what I do know about Davis Mills is we have seen him play good games in the past when he's been called upon. This is not his first go around handling this Houston offense in lieu of not having the starting quarterback. So this guy's a serviceable backup. I mean, he's a borderline starter. Quite honestly, I think you threw him over there in the Jets, and he's starting over everybody over there, clearly. Yeah. So, I mean, so even though I know the 49ers have their Mac Jones for backup, Houston also has their Davis Mills. And as long as you got a guy like Nico Collins to carry that shoulder, and you got Dalton Schultz at tight end, and you get a pretty decent offensive line. The only question I always say is that offensive coordinator, since Bobby Slowick left. But I think that they can do it. The weakness of Buffalo is their defense. And also they've had key injuries. Now, I don't know when Ed Oliver's coming back. I think he should be, if he's not back tonight, he should be very close to be coming back on that defense. But the downside to Houston, the only really true weakness I think for Houston is right now that running game. Chubb can only do so much right now. He's more of a short yardage or a goal line kind of guy. You got, Pierce over there, but he's not really done much. Mixon is sorely missed, and I don't know if Mixon's going to make it back, but that really is the weakness in this team is their lack of a run game, if I had to say. So if I was Buffalo, I'd probably exploit that. But other than that, Houston can win this game. If they really pull together, they can win.
Jay, it's interesting. First of all, total defense, Houston's number one in the league.
Yeah.
Total offense, Buffalo's number 2 in the league. So you know you got the class of the Titans there, offense and defense. But the thing that worries me about Houston is just what you just said, the running game. The teams that have beat Buffalo and beat up on Buffalo for the most part has done it running. Miami ran the football down their throat. I think it was like 200 yards rushing. I don't know if Houston has the weapons to do that. So that's my concern. And can Houston score enough points? I think Houston's going to win this game. Jay, I think they'll have to score 20, 23 points at least. And that's with their defense performing well against Buffalo. So I think Houston's got a chance, but that running game, which I think Chubbs has got better over the last few games. So, I mean, I think he's running the football a little better. So they need 80, 90 yards rushing, I think, to be in this game. If they don't have that, if they're held down to 50 yards, I think Houston could be in trouble. Big Glenn, what do you think?
I think Houston will be in trouble tonight. After the game that Josh Allen had last week, I fully expect the Bills to come out firing early and often, dominating the time of possession to the point that this game might be like a 34-13 kind of a game, in their favor, and it's going to work.
That's a possibility, and that's the thing about Houston's defense, though. They're real strong against the run, and they're pretty strong against the pass. So the defense don't have a big weakness. I think the rush defense is a little better than the passing defense, but not a lot. So I think, again, like Jay said, the offensive line is going to have to do their job, and they've got to be able to rush the football. If not, it could be a long night for Houston. But I think it's going to be a good game. I'm actually looking forward to it.
And actually, the last time these guys met was back in October of last year, and Houston did get a narrow win, 23-20 over them guys. But I think the key for Houston is their defense. They've got to keep Josh Allen out of rhythm. They can't let Cook go off, and they've got to have the time of possession. If they can get the time of possession and control that and control their and have their defense control that offense, that's really where it's going to come in, and that's a tall order to ask of that team.
Yep. Yeah. Dog, I'm gonna choke you here in a minute. Okay, he had me all messed up. Okay, let's move on. When Chris gets here, I think he's going to be coming in here in a minute. We'll let him give his thoughts on the Thursday night football game. But let's move on to some college football.
Yeah,
not a lot of great games really this week. I'd say the biggest game for me is number 17 UCLA against number 8 Oregon, which those rankings could have changed a little bit. But I think that's the big game of the week. So let's go that one first. Big Glenn, what do you think about USC? Does USC have enough of a team to be able to beat Oregon at Oregon? I think that's the big key, though. If it was USC, I'd have more confidence, but they're at Oregon.
No,
So, Big Glenn, what do you think?
this man said best. They ain't got a chance in hell of beating Oregon, and I'll pass that one on Jay because it's really that simple.
and this game is in Oregon. Yeah, man. On all honesty, I don't think I think this is where SC kind of, like you said, rubber meets the road. I think this is kind of where they drop out. And I think this is where Oregon continues to push up the standings. It's you got the real guys, you got the pretenders, and correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that Lincoln Riley's team? Lincoln Riley's he's over at SC right now, isn't he?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm rolling. If I had to roll with this, I'm rolling Oregon, honestly. And Gonzo's here, and Gonzo, I guess you're next up to bat. SC, Oregon, and Oregon. Me and Big Glenn have said not a chance in hell. How are you looking at this game?
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
Okay.
all I heard was USC, Oregon, USC.
Okay. We'll come.
Shekatash.
Okay. He must have just got on. Okay. We're talking college football. And the first game we're talking about, Chris, was USC at Oregon. What?
Sorry, am I speaking English or am I speaking in Spanish? What mode am I in?
I think speaking Looney Tune.
Who do you think wins this game between USC and Oregon?
I think Oregon wins. I think Oregon is a better football team. USC has a pretty good offense, but I don't think I think Oregon's defense will be able to slow their offense down enough. I don't think USC's defense is going to be good enough. Oregon has that good young quarterback in Moore, who's been playing well, and I think Oregon's a little bit better than what they're ranked in my opinion. The people got sour on them on one loss, but their only loss is the number 2 team in the country. So it ain't like they don't have no bad losses.
Also, one more thing, if I can add, I think this kind of goes back to the game we just talked about for Thursday night, where it's offense versus defense. And I think this is another one where you get SC offense versus much improved, I should say, offense versus Oregon's defense. I was looking at that right now. They're averaging 488 yards a game, and the Ducks allow opponents to average only 235 yards a game. So again, I think this is one of those things, Tony, like we're the Houston game where we were talking about just a minute ago. It's gonna who can be the time of possession, and I think if I'm SC, if I got a shot in hell, it's gonna be through the time of possession, and can they actually control that?
Yeah, and I don't know if they can, Jay, because Oregon's been running the football really well lately. So I think I will say one thing. I looked at USC earlier in the year, and I thought they were pretenders. I didn't think they were that good. They've showed me something. I think they are a better team, a lot better team than they were last year. So I think they're moving in the right direction. I just don't think they have enough to beat Oregon at Oregon. I'd be a little more confident if it was at USC, but I just don't know if USC's defense can hold Oregon down enough. I think their offense will put a few points up. I just don't know if their defense can do the job. But USC is a better football team than what I thought they were 5-6 weeks ago. So they have shown me something.
They got
All
more.
right,
They got more physical this year.
Yep.
USC has. They're still not physical enough yet to be in the Big Ten, but they're getting a lot closer than what they were last year. Their first year in the Big Ten. You can see that they got some bigger linemen this year. So yeah, they're definitely moving in the right direction over there.
Okay, next game up, guys. Missouri is at Oklahoma. So Oklahoma coming off that big win. Jay, could Oklahoma? Do you think they could go too confident? I mean, I know Missouri don't have their main quarterback. I don't think so. I think they're down to the third string. So what do you think happens in this game? It is at Oklahoma, so I think that helps. I think Oklahoma knows they're in a situation, even though they're number 8 in the country right now, that if they lose a game, they would probably be out of the playoffs. So it's a must win for Oklahoma. So what do you think, Jay?
Yeah, this is just one of those things. After the Red River shootout, I think Oklahoma kind of woke up a little bit, and obviously they've gotten a little healthier. And, obviously against the Bama game, I think this team is right on point. They're gaining the momentum at the right time, honestly, to get ready for the playoffs. And honestly, I didn't think they would. I thought after that Red River shootout, I kind of thought Oklahoma was just going to be the lame duck, and they were just going to fade out to misery. And that hasn't happened. And in fact, it's quite the opposite. It's more like Texas faded out to misery, and Oregon's rising to the challenge. So no, not at all, man. I think Oklahoma's right where they ought to be, and they're gonna take advantage of Missouri not having that starting quarterback. And I think you're going to see Oklahoma continue to move up the ladder. I think this is absolutely going to be Oklahoma getting the win.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Oklahoma wins the game. I don't think they'll move up in the rankings too much unless a couple guys in front of them was to lose. I actually probably wouldn't have Oklahoma at 8. I'd probably had them closer to 9 or 10. But I also think Alabama shouldn't be moved all the way back to 10. No, Oklahoma was a good team. A lot of people overlooked Oklahoma because of that Texas game. But if anybody that watched college football, if you'd watched Oklahoma before that Texas game, before Mateer got hurt, they looked like a totally different team. They tried to rush him back. He struggled for a couple weeks, that Texas game, and then the next game he struggled a little bit. But then he got back to playing like he was at the beginning of the season. Before he got hurt, he hurt his hand. Hell, he was the number 1 leading candidate for the Heisman early in the season. He was playing so well, and then he got to play. He got to playing better. But Oklahoma's their thing is their defense. That defense is pretty nasty, and I think they're going to be too much for Missouri.
Big Glenn.
Boomer Summer, yeah, Boomer Summer, baby, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Oklahoma's just gonna have a little too much, especially at Oklahoma. So I'm going with them. Next game up, Jerry. Let's talk about Texas. Arkansas at Texas. Could this be a trap game? I know Texas is not. Texas is number 17. I believe there's still a way in for them. A lot of people don't, but it take a lot. They have to win both their next games, and that means upsetting Texas A&M number 3, and that means also I think Alabama would have to lose and move out of the playoff hunt. Uh,
Yeah.
so because I think Texas would have a shot if they beat the number 3 team and the number 8 team in the country. I think it gives them a shot. But first, they got to beat Arkansas. Arkansas record is terrible, but they've looked good at times. They're a real up and down team. I give Texas the advantage, especially since it's at Texas. But what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. Number one, it's a conference game. Number two, Texas has not exactly looked best, even against some of the weaker unranked teams. So, I don't ever want to look past anybody, but with this Texas team at this point, here's my thing. I'm a momentum guy, and I believe they just took a hard loss, like a really hard loss to Georgia. I mean, that was crushing. So I kind of think they need this Arkansas game before they go and face A&M. They need this Arkansas game just to kind of get a little bit of confidence or a little bit of positive energy flowing through that clubhouse before they go meet A&M, which is going to be an incredibly, another hard task for them to face, especially after Georgia. I mean, they lost to Ohio, they've lost to Georgia. And the last thing I need them to do is lose to A&M, because that would just be morally crushing going into next season. Then knowing that you didn't take out one of those top teams, right? Or at least make it close. Now, the Ohio game was somewhat close, but still, I mean, this is they need this game. Texas needs Arkansas to get them somewhat back in the right mindset to go face A&M. So, trap game, I don't know about that. To me, this is a momentum game or a momentum opportunity for Texas. And I think this is another way for Archie to kind of get back in the rhythm. But that defense, that's what killed them against Georgia, was just silly things. You come off the field, if you gave a touchdown, you don't get the onside kick. Defense has got to go back out. That defense can't keep doing back to back to back and think that you're going to be okay, because they're not. They're going to be exhausted. I think Georgia exhausted that defense. And so I don't want them to overlook Arkansas, but again, you don't want to underlook them either. So yeah, I could something bad, but no, this is a momentum game for Texas, I think.
Big Glenn, what do you think?
I hate to say this because I know Jay's a Texas fan, but the way that they finished that fourth quarter on last Saturday, man, the slide is going to continue for Texas, and I think Arkansas gets it done.
Oh, upset time. Chris, what do you think?
I think Texas wins the game, but I like Arkansas to cover the spread. The spread's at 8.5 points, and I think this will be a close game. Texas hasn't been really blowing a lot of teams out this year. Most of their games have been close games. So yeah, I think Texas wins, but I do like Arkansas to keep it close and cover the 8.5 points. If I was going to bet this game, I'd take the Arkansas and the 8.5. I could see this being like a field goal game, maybe a 7-point game, somewhere around there.
You guys got a couple more games here. Next one, well, I'm not sure if Pittsburgh ranked anymore, but we got Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. Big game for Georgia Tech. They're trying to stay in the playoff hunt. I think they still got a good shot with their maybe possibly win their conference. Chris, what do you think about Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech?
I was trying to find the spread on it. This game's going to be interesting because both teams still have a lot to play for. I know Pittsburgh got killed by Notre Dame, but Pittsburgh, if I remember correctly, has only lost maybe one game in the ACC or whatever conference they're in. If they beat Georgia Tech, if they win out, they can still make their conference championship game and still have a chance to get in the playoffs. So for both these teams, this is an important game. I wanted to go with Pittsburgh on this game, but it's hard for me to after the way they looked against Notre Dame last week. Georgia Tech, if they can run the ball, that's the thing with them, is stopping the run, not just the running back. Their quarterback can run the ball real well. but I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh here.
Uh-oh.
And then just so you're tracking, the spread is 2.5.
Really? So it's,
Yeah.
then it's going to be a close one. I think Georgia Tech's a better football team. I'm a little bit surprised the point spread's that close, to be honest. But I'm going to go Georgia Tech. Jay, what do you think?
Now I'm going to stay with Georgia Tech. Again, I think Georgia Tech has a chance to really, definitely make the playoffs, and this is just another block for them to get in there. They're 9-1. So I'm gonna roll with Georgia Tech on that. I'm not gonna go away from that one. I think Georgia Tech surprised me a little bit this year. I didn't know they were gonna be as good as they are, to be honest with you. I didn't have them pegged, so yeah.
Big Glenn.
Georgia Tech wins this. I feel like they got a good enough team that they can maybe slide in the playoffs.
Okay. And the last game I had, guys, this is Jay's one of his most overranked teams. It's one of his favorite teams, BYU. They play Cincinnati. Now, this could be an interesting game, guys. This is at Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's got a shot against BYU. I really do. If their offense can get back to where it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, offense have struggled a little bit the last couple weeks. But I'm gonna pick an upset here. I'm gonna do my upset. I'm going Cincinnati over BYU. Big Glenn, what do you think?
Tony, what time is that game on Saturday?
I don't know.
7 p.m.
Oh shit. Okay. Oof. I'm going Cincinnati.
Okay. Chris.
Is the game at BYU?
No,
That's
it's
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
I'm gonna choke you.
No, my bad. No, I also think it's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna go with BYU.
Okay. And Jay.
No, I'm going. Actually, I'm going to go Cincinnati on this one. I think for Cincinnati to do it, they're going to have to basically. I think if I saw their thing right, it was Martin has 900 yards on the season. I think Walker has 652 in the run game. So BYU is going to have to do a lot of time of possession since they're not going to have the home crowd behind them. In Cincinnati. I think BYU is going to have to run the ball a lot, whereas Cincinnati is going to have to pass the ball a lot more. But I think that Cincinnati is going to have a little bit more of a balanced attack. So I'm gonna roll with Cincinnati for that upset because I just don't believe in BYU. I just don't.
And see, the reason why
I love Mormons.
Yeah, the reason why I picked Cincinnati is because BYU is used to playing them late ass games, even with 7 o'clock. Here in the East Coast, that's still 4 or 5 o'clock their time. So that's still early compared to what they usually play.
Do you think the weather could affect them? Being in Cincinnati, it's probably going to be at that time of night. It's probably going to be down in the 40s. Do you think that could be a factor?
Yes, it could. I think it could favor Cincinnati, honestly.
Okay, guys. We're going to hopefully Chris is still there. Going to go back and let him give his prediction for Thursday night football tonight. Buffalo, we'd already done that, but we're going to let you go back and give your prediction for Buffalo and Houston tonight before we go to some hot seat questions.
I think it's going to be I think it'll be a good game, but I like the Bills. I think they're getting back on track. The Bills got to be able to run the ball. The Texans has the best defense in the league, so we'll see if how that holds up tonight. But even though I do kind of think that the Texans' offense is playing better with Mills at quarterback than what they were with Stroud. I just think Buffalo has a little bit of momentum coming in after last week, and I look for them to build on that.
Yep. Okay. Well, guys, let's go to the hot seat questions, and they're mixed up this way. I got some different ones. This one is I'm going to go to Chris first. Your favorite all-time football game? Any, be college, NFL, your favorite game?
That's pretty. That'd be two. First one would have to be the 06 Super Bowl, watching the Colts beat the Bears to win the Super Bowl. But then the other one would be Monday Night Football, Colts versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tony Dungy going back to Tampa for the first time to play against the Bucs after becoming the Colts coach. Colts was down by like 21 or 28 with like 4 minutes left in the game, and came back and won that game in overtime. I'll never forget watching that game. That's a game a lot of people went to sleep because they thought the game was over. Woke up thinking the Colts had lost. Dad was one of them. He woke up that morning thinking the Colts had lost the game.
You know?
But yeah, them two would probably be my two favorite that I've watched.
Them are going to be my two, but I'm going to pick a different one since I'm going to go the Colts come back when they beat New England.
Yeah, that one would be right up there too. That was the AFC Championship game.
I'm going to go with that one. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, my favorite one was a national title between University of Texas and SC. That was the one where Vince Young put the game on his back and actually looked like an amazing quarterback. I mean, that was all Vince Young. That whole national title was all Vince Young. And if Vince Young doesn't have the kind of game that he had, Texas doesn't get it. And that was against Pete Carroll right before he went to go coach over in Seattle. And that's been a hot minute. But yeah, that was my favorite Texas game when we beat SC. And I just liked how Vince Young, if it wasn't for him, we were losing that game.
Okay, Big Glenn, what about you?
I have a couple. Well, obviously, the New England Colts AFC Championship in 2006. The other one is Colts Chiefs 2015 playoffs against when Andrew Luck had that Kaplan comeback thing in the end zone where he recovered his own fumble and went to the end zone. Then I would say probably my Cowboys won. It's been a while since we had a good one, so I'll probably go Super Bowl 30 against the Steelers.
Oh, that was O'Donnell was the quarterback.
Yeah, and
was it Neil O'Donnell, right?
Yeah, Neil O'Donnell.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And Brown picked off O'Donnell like 3 times and stuff. Man, it was funny as hell.
Another one I'll say real quick, guys, just to piss off Frankie, is the Giants New England game where that Giants made that crazy ass catch, and the Giants upset New England. New England was undefeated, and Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. So I said that just up for Frankie. Next up, guys, this is a pro wrestling question. It's 2-part. First of all, when you was a kid, if someone mentioned pro wrestling, who would be the first person you think of? And then now, if somebody mentioned pro wrestling, who would be the first person you would think of? Big Glenn.
Back in the day, it would have to be Stone Cold The Undertaker, and probably today it would be John Cena or like Seth Rollins.
Okay. Chris.
When I was a kid, it'd have to be Hulk Hogan. Because I mean, in the '80s, that he was the big name. Even if you wasn't a wrestling fan, everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was. Now, I'm gonna go a different direction, a little bit different. I'm gonna say
CM Punk,
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think she's the best. I think she's the best female, and that's the females are a lot more important now in the business than what they used to be.
Than they have ever been combined, really, honestly.
For me, me being a lot older than some of you guys, mine, because when I was a kid, it was the '70s. So Dick the Bruiser for me. He was so big in the Midwest. That's where I cut my teeth on pro wrestling was Dick the Bruiser. And then for me right now, I'm going to say Cody Rhodes. The Cody Rhodes story. Left WWE, went to AEW, went to other places, then went to AEW, started a company, went to WWE, been such a success story. So for me, I'm going to say Cody Rhodes. Also, you can put Roman Reigns in there with what he's done, being maybe one of the most recognizable guys right now, too. So, Jay, what about you?
Yeah, I would say back then it was tied between 3. I would say between Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ted DiBiase, and the Freebirds. Those are my favorites.
There's like 8 Freebirds, so that's about 8 people you just named off.
Yeah.
it would have been the original Freebirds back in the day. I don't know their damn names. I just remember the damn thing. So
You know what sucks though? With you
TBI is going in
being,
overload right now. Hold on, Big Glenn. Hold
yeah,
on. AI is still clicking. You got plenty of time
Yeah.
on this AI thing. Let's just relax
Yeah.
for a second. I wonder if that AI is in your bed. No, we're gonna go that direction.
I don't want to do that.
No, we're not doing that. But no, seriously. And now, and also I really love Ric Flair. But anyway, that's besides the point. I love Ric. I just love Ric Flair's style. The guy's flashy. I love it. And so because I like Ric Flair, then it makes sense that my favorite wrestler nowadays would be Seth Rollins, because I just love the flash and the flair that he has. It reminds me of a young Ric Flair in some ways.
Okay.
You know what surprised me about your answer, Jay, is you're at the age that you are, and you're from Texas. I'm surprised you didn't say the Von Erichs.
That's actually Melanie's favorite wrestlers, because she grew up with the Von Erichs.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah, she has pictures with them. Yeah, she actually grew up with them. And that's her, because they're out of the Dallas area, Dallas Corsicana area.
Yeah.
So that's her. That's her favorite wrestlers, and I can't be like her. Okay, I gotta be different.
Okay. It's going to be interesting, guys, because the last thing I've got for you guys it has to do with AI. But that's going to be the last question, because you guys brought up AI.
Yeah.
My next question, guys, is NBA. The Detroit Pistons, 13-2. Are they the real deal, Chris?
Yeah, I think they are. They were. They honestly should have beat New York last year in the playoffs. If it wouldn't been for a couple of bad calls and a couple of weird finishes in a couple of those games, they win that series. And hell, New York might have not have had to play. Well, then New York wouldn't have had to play the Pacers, and they wouldn't have fired their coach. So hell, Thibodeau might still have a job if the Pistons would have finished the playoffs last year.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, Pistons were showing that they were coming last year, and so far this year they look like they've really put it together. And with the other injuries and that you've had the teams in the East and stuff, I expect them to be right there competing for the East at the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cleveland came kind of out of nowhere last year with the season that they had, and how they dominated that division and won the division. I think we could see the same thing with the Pistons this year. But one thing I like about Pistons over Cleveland, at least Cleveland last year, I don't know about this year, we'll see. But I think Pistons is a tougher team. I think they're physically tougher than what Cleveland was last year. So I think the Pistons are a real deal, and I wouldn't be shocked if they don't win that division, guys. It wouldn't surprise.
I agree with you. I think the Pistons are tougher, but I don't think it's physically. I think they're mentally tougher.
Yes. Jay.
Yeah, when you look at this Pistons team, first of all, Cade Cunningham is balling out. I've seen him have a couple of 30-point games, a 46-point game. I mean, he's definitely coming into his own. And Gonza really kind of took my reasoning mainly behind it. What they did last year in the playoffs against the Knicks, even though they didn't get it, we all know they really should have got it. And so you take that, you put it into this year, and they've only got 2 losses, and the loss was to Chicago, only by 4, and to Cleveland. Now, Cleveland kind of put it on them a little bit, right? 116 to 95. That 21 blowout is really the only one. But everybody has a game like that, right? Sometimes you go left sometimes. So I don't really count that as too much. Because they got wins over the Sixers. They got wins. Matter of fact, they got 2 wins over the Sixers. And the Sixers came out really hot this season, and then they kind of cooled down a little bit. But no, I think, and of course Boston win, and they got Houston by 4 points. So no, I definitely think Detroit is doing well, and I think they're legit where they are in the standings at number 1 in the East. Yeah, they're definitely looking good.
Big Glenn.
They're legit, but they got some stuff to work on before they get to the playoffs. They played the Pacers the other night, and there was times of the game where they was looking like ass, but they still won the game by a lot, though. So there's some things, but it's still early in the season. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, so they got time to improve and be that top dog in the East, like we think they can be.
The team that looks real scary right now is OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're plus 175 to win it again. So
yeah, they're looking phenomenal.
I tell y'all, don't sleep on the Rockets though. Hey, we're looking good right now. I love my Rockets, man.
Okay. Next, guys. This is the matchup you would have loved to see any sport, but I want it to be a matchup that has never happened for like it could be basketball. You could say the 1977 Lakers against the 1987 Celtics, just for an example. Something like that. It could be baseball, football, a matchup you would have loved to saw that never happened. And I'll do mine first. Mine would have been at his prime, Mike Tyson against a prime Muhammad Ali.
Oh shit.
That's what I would.
Yeah.
That's what I would have loved to see. Chris, what about you?
Matchup. I'm gonna go with the. I'm trying to think the exact year, but it'd been the San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana against the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning. Because them are in my opinion, two of the best quarterbacks that's ever played in the NFL. They were two of my favorite players.
Who's the best receivers?
Two of the best receivers with Rice and Harrison. I think that'd have been a great matchup that we never got to see football wise. You get to see two of the best quarterbacks go at it like that.
Okay, Big Glenn.
Ooh, that's a good question. I want to see either one of the Colts years between 04 and 06. You can really pick any because they had a great offenses at those times versus the 85 Bears.
Okay,
That would be one hell of a game.
Yep.
Yeah. It would have been interesting maybe to see whatever team you think New England had that was the best go up against the 85 Bears. That would have been interesting too. Jay.
Yeah, I got a couple. One is if it was going to be boxing, I would love to see Lennox Lewis or even Evander Holyfield. Maybe more Evander Holyfield. I love his technical skill. I would like to see Evander Holyfield in his prime go up against Tyson Fury in his prime and see who comes out the winner of that one. I think that would be phenomenal. Secondly, I would probably take either the 71 Cowboys or the 95 Cowboys because both of them, from a statistical speaking, were probably the best of those Super Bowl years, and I'd put them up against any one of Tom Brady's New England teams.
Okay.
I would love to see that.
I have one more.
Okay.
Prime Michael Jordan Bulls team against a prime LeBron James.
Ooh, hell yeah!
So we can watch DJ crush them, and then that would end the debate once and for all.
Okay.
You know what? Take away all of mine. I'll go with Chris. Hell yeah!
That's a good one.
But which Bron team do we want? Maybe we want the Heat because he had Wade and Bosch. Prime Wade Bosch Heat versus I think that would be the best one.
That 2012 Heat.
Let me ask you this. Let's say the Heat team. How would they match up with Oklahoma Thunder right now?
Oh,
shit. Be a hell of a series, too.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
That'd be fun.
I think that was the best one.
You know what's crazy, though, Tony, about you asking that? I'm not a LeBron fan, but I think Spoelstra and LeBron, Wade, and Bosch would find a way to steal a series from those guys.
That'd be interesting. The next one, guys, you guys mentioned AI, and I've seen this thing on AI, and it was kind of interesting. Get you guys' opinion on what you think this results was, and then if you want to, you can give what you think the finals are going to be. But it had to do with the college football playoff bracket. They went by the bracket that's out right now, and they took AI, and AI give who the winner was going to be. I'm not going to break down the whole bracket, but here's how they had the top four teams. What the matchups would be. They had number 1 Ohio State playing number 4 Georgia in one semifinal. In the other semifinal, they had number 6 Ole Miss playing number 7 Oregon. They had Oregon beating IU.
Shit.
In the
I
quarter.
think we could sell that shit out already.
Okay. And in the championship game, they had Ohio State versus Oregon, and they had Ohio State back-to-back winners. Chris, what do you think of AI's picks?
Man, terrible. But I don't see Oregon beating IU if they end up playing again. I was trying to pull the bracket up so I could see how what the matchups would be like now.
So Gonzo, I think that the only way that they could we can play them again is if somehow Ohio State loses and we win out. or if they end up in
Well,
our
no,
side of
as
the
of right
bracket.
now, we would play the winner of Oregon and Alabama.
Right. But
Yeah.
probably that's not going to stay the same
Yeah,
because
it
if
ain't
we
gonna,
win, we're going to
yeah.
be number
stay like
one.
that.
We're not.
Yeah,
We're either going to be number 1 or 3 or 4. We're probably not going to be a number 2 seed.
Yeah,
So we're going to probably be a 1, 3, or 4. But
Yeah.
just going by that bracket, they went by that bracket.
yeah. By that
So
bracket. I was thinking Big
so
Ten championship and stuff before the playoffs, but yeah.
yeah. Big Glenn, what do you think of that result?
I can see it on the Ohio State winning it back to back because they're good. They're good. We know they're good. But
Uh,
the IU thing, we can just toss that shit out.
The way the bracket is now, I would go with a rematch of the Big Ten championship game,
Ohio
Ohio
State,
State and IU for the
yeah.
national championship.
Yeah,
And that's possible. It's
we've
not
seen it
impossible.
before with the SEC. So
Yep. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah. What do I think? I'm kind of there with Chris. I mean, first of all, I think that the thing there, Oregon, IU. I mean, it's hard. That's a hard one to say because IU has a great team and Oregon has a great D. That I would like to see that actually and just see what happens. But
we beat Oregon by 10 this year at Oregon.
oh, you did already? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't know yours. Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, then I think Chris, I think that right there already kind of blows AI out of the water. Seems that they already had that win over them by 10 points. So I don't. I mean, I don't like it. I think what Chris said, the Big Ten versus a rematch would be amazing. I think that's probably more palatable. My question is, who do you think would need it more? Do you think Ohio would need it, or which one would be harder? Would it be harder for Ohio to get a repeat, or would it be harder for IU to get their first title in football? Obviously.
what was the question again, Tony, or Chris or Jay? Shit, sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, so who has it harder, Ohio to get a repeat or IU to get their first title?
I think it'd be IU. Well, that's a good question. That's a damn good question. I think it'd be harder for Ohio State to repeat.
Yeah.
I'm going to say odds wise to repeat, but it also depends what happens in that Big Ten championship game. If Ohio State beats IU, they're going to be the number 1 seed. So technically, they supposedly should have the easiest route to get back to the finals. Yeah, I mean, it don't always end up that way the way they do the brackets, but I mean, technically, if you're the number 1 seed, you should have the easiest route. So, I'm going to say 51%. IU is going to have a better chance than Ohio State just because Ohio State's trying to repeat. But I think it makes a big difference on who's number 1. Because if IU beats Ohio State in the conference championship, they're probably going to be number 1. If Ohio State wins, they're going to be number 1.
Would you consider that Big Ten championship to really kind of be the national title, or do you think that? Because I know Chris has made some good points about how you guys have played some good teams over there. SC has kind of looked a little wonky a little bit at times, right? Bama had that tough loss to Oklahoma. Georgia has a loss. I mean, so that's SC. It looks like they've taken some chinks in that armor that they have. So, do you think that the Big Ten is going to be a solid rematch of the national title?
It's hard to say because whoever loses that game, we don't know what seed they're going to be. If
That's a good point.
If they drop to 4. 1 and 4 could meet in the semifinals, so they could meet in the semifinals. So it just depends on how the bracket goes. Chris, your thoughts? What do you think?
Okay, first of all, I think there's more pressure on Ohio State to repeat than there is IU to win their first, because if Ohio State don't repeat, there'll be people wanting Ryan Day's job. Where
Hey, they better even get.
Where if IU makes it to the national championship game and we lose the national championship game by 7 points or 3 points or something, yeah, there's going to be disappointment, but nobody's going to be wanting Signetti fired. It's just totally different there.
You know what's crazy?
Honestly, if you look, you almost get a better draw if you're the 4 or 5 seed the way they do this bracket, because they put the one Power 5 is going to be 5, and then the other highest ranked non-Power 5 champion is going to be 12. And if you're the 4 seed, you play the winner of that game. Yeah, your next game you have the number 1 seed. But you have the easiest route to get to the semifinals out of anybody by being the 4 or 5. But no, I can see it being IU and Ohio State. But right now, to me, I think the best team in the SEC is Georgia.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah,
though?
I agree with that.
With
100.
What you're saying about Jim Day's, or not Jim Day's, but Ryan Day's the pressure on his job is the simple fact of his pressure on his job may start as soon as next weekend if
they lose to Michigan for the 6th time in a row.
Hey, nothing against Daybor with Alabama. I mean, obviously, I think he's a great coach, but Kirby Smart for Georgia. I think Kirby Smart. Nothing against Signet. I mean, Signet is an amazing coach too, but I think Kirby Smart is the best, in my opinion, is the best coach to come out of that Nick Saban tree. That guy is just smart. I think the way he calls games is incredible.
In my opinion, I think Georgia, Ole Miss, and Alabama are the best 3 teams out of the SEC.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because Texas A&M don't have they beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You have a good point.
That's the only win they've got. I mean, Texas A&M is going to have the opportunity to prove it, so we'll see.
Right, and that really is right. And I think if you talk about pressure,
Big Ten, I think it's Ohio State, IU, and Oregon,
and that's it.
I think Oregon's right up there, and I think Oregon's a real good football team. I know some people got sour on them because of their one loss, but they lost to a team that nobody's been able to beat this year.
I just wonder how much pressure is on A&M because, to your point, right, their restrictive schedule hasn't been as tough as some others that are out there, and I'm wondering how much you got to imagine they're under a lot of pressure to justify, where they're ranked at because everybody wants to tear them down. Nobody's giving them respect. Certainly, nobody on this panel is giving them respect, and I gotta agree with you. I'm not mad at you for your opinions because they're valid opinions. But so I think from a respect level, this game is about as big for A&M as it is for IU to get their respect.
Well, it's kind of what IU went through last year. Nobody respected IU.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, Texas A&M was more of a football school than what IU was. But right now, that Texas A&M. Other than Notre Dame, who Notre Dame ain't played a great schedule, Texas A&M ain't played nobody. So they still got a lot to prove.
And they barely got by South Carolina last weekend. So,
well, I tell you what, though, and again, the next biggest task for Texas is A&M. So I'm really curious to see how that game turns out. But I also am very excited to see the Big Ten championship between IU and Ohio because I want to see what this IU team really is. Are they really as good as what everybody's saying they are? I want to see this, and I think that's probably the biggest test they're going to have, don't you think?
Hey guys, I'm going to step out and let you guys close out the show because I've got to leave. But everybody have a good day.
Hey, before you go. Make sure you look both ways before you go across the crosswalk. Both ways, Tony, not left. Both ways.
Okay, I will.
See you tonight, man.
Yep.
What up, Frankie?
What's up, Frankie?
What's going on, boys?
Doing good, man.
So let me ask you this: we've been talking college football in the hot seat questions, and who do you think has the more pressure, Ohio or Indiana in the Big Ten championship, if it should stay that way, which I'm pretty sure it will?
I don't think it's Indiana because, this is the first time we've seen Indiana in this position being this successful. I have to say Ohio State because, they won the championship last year and, they coming in this year, sitting at number 1. What if they don't make it back to the championship, right? That's a big possibility. So I think Ohio State.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then what do you think about Bama? Since you're a Bama fan, and we were talking a little bit about the SEC and we were talking about the teams. And guys, I don't remember your SEC teams. I'm pretty sure they were good, though. I know you had Georgia in there. You had Ole Miss in there. I forgot your third team. Was it Bama?
It was Bama.
Okay. So how do you see Bama ranked amongst those 3?
Well, I see why Chris will put Georgia at number one because of their record and how good they've looked as of late. But let's not overlook the fact that Georgia has one loss in their record against one team that nobody ever talks about a lot, and that's Bama. All right, that's Bama. I don't give a shit. So I mean, that puts Bama over Georgia. I don't care what Chris says. And Ole Miss, I really don't care about Ole Miss. Ole Miss, please. That's like you see a woman down the street, and you're like, hey, Ole Miss, can I help you with your bags? Nobody cares about Ole Miss. But record wise, I mean, Alabama. I mean, Georgia's obviously the better one right now. Obviously, um, I agree with Chris's rankings. It's based. I'm pretty sure he's basing it off of records and who those teams have lost to and stuff. But never overlook the fact that Kirby Smart can never beat Alabama. All right.
Well,
Never
I
overlook
would
that.
say Nick Saban's Alabama. I don't think that's true this year. I think Kirby Smart's a better coach than DeBoer. Just to be honest with you, that's my
Kirby
opinion.
Smart didn't beat the board this year, though.
Yeah,
But
the board beat Smart earlier this year.
did he beat him earlier? Man, that's a good point. I still love Kirby Smart though. I mean that guy I still think he's an amazing coach. We'll see what happens. Definitely some good football. I mean, I don't know, man. The SEC is going to be good, but I really am looking forward to that Big Ten championship game. Let me ask you a question. So we're talking about Ole Miss real quick. Lane Kiffin has been speculated to leave, stay. Nobody really knows what Lane's going to do. Do y'all think that's putting any pressure on SC or not pressure? Do you think that's a distraction for Ole Miss dealing with Lane Kiffin?
I don't think so. Just because he's dealt with this before, other schools when he's been offered jobs, and I've seen a couple interviews with him. He had an interview yesterday on McAfee where he had his running back sitting right beside him as he was talking about it and stuff. I think he's doing a good job of keeping the main thing, and then letting the other stuff work out. I just wish that, and not just with him, but with all these coaches, like you shouldn't be throwing somebody's name out there that's still coaching the team just because you just get their name thrown out there with no with no sources that there's even any truth to it, and then it just gets ran with, and then now he gets asked questions about it all the time. Where a lot of us, if it wasn't media driven like that, it wouldn't be that as big a deal.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a question for Glenn. Let me ask you a question, Glenn. A minute ago, we were talking about matchups you'd like to see, and I thought of a matchup for you, Glenn. Now, it has been widely speculated that you're half Cowboys and you're half Colts. So let me ask you a matchup. If there was a chance that the Colts and the Cowboys ever met in the Super Bowl, where would you lean?
Damn. That's a damn good question.
I know that's why I asked it.
You better think about what city you live in before you answer that question.
Yeah, true. I might be homeless if I choose the Cowboys in that way. Phew. This honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I may have this may one I may have to sit out and enjoy it.
Swear to God, you're gonna come to Dallas. I'm gonna mug you.
Yeah, I'll be sure to wear my Manning jersey when I come down to the swing.
Frank, I got one question for you, and this is because you weren't here when we asked it, but I am curious to see what your thought process is on it. If there was any matchup, basketball, football, baseball, whatever sport, doesn't matter. Just tell me what the sport is, and then tell me who you'd want to see. It could be a team from the 80s, team from now, whatever. What matchup would you want to see the most?
This is for me.
Yeah, sure as hell ain't for Glenn.
In the 80s, or like, are you just
all
saying
time?
Like, all time?
Just all time. Any team from any year versus any team for any year.
I would like to see Michael Jordan's basketball team go up against Kobe Bryant's team, with Shaquille O'Neal. I would definitely like to see that. I've seen a lot of the Yankee World Series, so I don't care much about that.
I would love to see the three-peat version, like the 2001 when they beat Philly. That version of the
Obviously, Glenn, what other freaking time you think I'm talking about?
Oh, I know.
I'm talking about the
I'm
time where they didn't win championships.
so. I was gonna say I was gonna pick one of those years. Is what I meant to say.
Gonzo. I was the one Gonzo came up with. He said basically Jordan versus Braun, any one of the Braun teams. I think we kind of settled on maybe on the Wade, the Miami Heat Wade version of Braun versus Michael Jordan. I thought that would be kind of good, just because there's so much damn controversy on who the GOAT is, right? So I think that's a good way to say it.
I like the Kobe one too, though.
Yeah, I would do 1A, 1B. Well, 1A is still going to be Braun because that's just too damn big of a debate not to have them go at it. I think the Kobe would be a second runner-up, so that'd be like my 1B.
I also like to see my favorite soccer team, Manchester United. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a damn about soccer, man. Soccer. No, I get it though. I understand. Soccer is a hard sport. I guess that's why I don't have any interest in it. I only had interest in sports, that I was somewhat good at. If I just couldn't relate to it, and I never was good with my feet like that. You have to be really good to do the ball with your feet, and I just never could get into it. So I guess I never got into soccer. But
hey, Frankie, what team would you like to see me and you play though?
Well, neither one of you has got any kind of an athletic build, so it better be something maybe on pool, bowling, maybe video games.
Coming from someone who goes to Renaissance festivals.
That's right. Yeah, you know how hard it is to walk 70 acres and still be vertical and challenged?
For one, we know for a fact you didn't walk anywhere. If anything, you probably got a wheelchair and had Mel push
man, I tell you what, man.
Like
you should have seen Mel pushing me through the airport. That was a spectacle. Everybody was looking at, why is this tiny lady pushing this big dude? And I'm like, shut up. My knees are messed up. It was funny, though.
Jay pulled out his veteran card like, I got shot in Afghanistan, my butt cheek. I can't walk really well.
Be like
dude, you know what was funny? You should have seen her. Hey, there was a part of the ramp where it's an incline, so she had to push me up the incline. Dude, she was kind of going slow, and I'm like, there's a lot of people that are faster than you, Mel. And of course, I got a lot of people were giving me issues on when I said that, but that was kind of funny. But she made it. God bless her. She got 202 pounds of flesh up that incline, so classed it. But anywho, all right, that's all the topics I got for today. Unless you guys got anything y'all wanted to speculate or talk about.
I do not.
Once or twice.
I was just gonna tell Joe that I'm picking Buffalo over Texas just because Texans are not that really good this year, especially with CJ Stroud out and not having a good offensive weapons in backfield. I mean, it's really hard to pick Texans, so I'm gonna go ahead and say Buffalo on that part.
By the way, just so you're tracking, Mario is code for Mafia. You may want to stick with the Cowboys. I don't mess around with the Italians and the Mafia. Johnny Two Thumbs. All right, folks. Well, if you enjoyed today's content, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe on Gonzo Sports Room's YouTube page, as well as Elite Sports and Entertainment Network's YouTube page. We certainly appreciate it. And next time you catch us, if you don't remember what it is, the QR code is at the top left. It'll take you to all the destinations you want to try us at. And we certainly appreciate it. Until next time, it's your boy Jay, Big Glenn, Gonzo, Tony, and always late, Frankie C.